Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to all our viewers. Thank you very much for logging on to the Mind Body Connection. This is your host, Ken Ramprasad. As you can see, my host is not here. She is actually in Guyana doing some work for the Caribbean Voice. She's actually there with the for Concert of Hope in Berbice. And please make sure you guys support the worthy cause. The concert is on Saturday, the 3rd of August. So please make sure you support this worthy cause. I would like to start by saying hello to Liz Paduman. Thank you for tuning in. Varshini Kedarnath, Rajiv Nandalal, both of them in studio. Nayan, all the way from Guyana. Juliet Prasad, thank you so much for logging in. I see your comment. My friend Gita Balde, thank you for logging on. Miss Linai, Gita Balde and Nadira Benitez, thank you for tuning in today. To our program here tonight. Avita Dasrat, I think you are from Florida, but we are from the same village in Lenora. Ronetta, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Aditya is on tonight too. My friends, and Shana's friend, Nalini Naidu, thank you for tuning in. I am so glad that you guys are here. You know, Shanaz is not in the country, so and you guys still continue to support me. Thank you so much. Indira Rambaros, thank you very much. Polly Shamir, Maureen Ramcharan, thank you for tuning in. Liz again said good night. Nalini, yes, good night, Geeta. Good night to all of you guys, and I want to say thank you so much for logging on tonight. You know, tonight's program is kind of special to me because I wanted to talk about this a very long time, probably over 20 years. I started my nursing career in Harlem, North General Hospital, so to speak, in 1995. And the first place that I really worked was taking care of the geriatric patients, those elderly patients on the 5th floor. And so there are many times that I see them there lying down, their family don't come visit them, and all these things. So you know what? I think this has prepared me. I really want to address all these things and to talk about them in a more meaningful way. So I have a lot of things to talk about tonight. Also, I want to talk about a little bit about elderly safety, about wills and trust funds, and all these things that can really help us out as children. And, you know, all of us, sometime or the other, we are going to get older and we want to make good decisions that's going to help our children when we pass on. Also, I want to say that Anand Budram book. If you guys purchase this book, you can always contact him on the Caribbean Voice website. Some of the proceeds for this book would be heading to the Caribbean Voice. He's giving us some contribution towards the Caribbean Voice. So I would encourage you guys to at least buy a book in support. And it's A Slice of Life by Anand Budram. So guys, please don't forget to support this worthy cause. Some proceedings will be going to the Caribbean Voice. And as you know, the Caribbean Voice is an organization, a non-profit organization that deals with suicide prevention and domestic violence, among many other things, especially in our beloved Guyana. And I'm certainly sure that you guys would want to contribute towards Guyana. Although, you know, we leave Guyana many, many years ago, some of us, but our heart is still there. And so we have to look forward and look beyond that and help those in Guyana. Okay, so again, thank you guys for tuning in. I see we have Naz Yan. This is the first time I'm seeing this name. I want to welcome you to this program, and I hope that you stay on for a long time. Polishamir Rita Bansi, thank you for tuning in. My good friend all the way from Guyana, Priya Prasad, thank you very much for tuning in. I know you always contribute to this program. To my sister, Roxanne Walker Hamilton, all the way from Florida. Thank you very much for tuning in. And, you know, guess what? For next week's program, I know Shanaz is not going to be here, but I'll be talking to a special young man. He's all the way from Guyana. He has a disability. His name is Ganesh Singh. So I'll be interviewing him from Guyana, and I'll be right here in New York. It should be very interesting that, you know, despite some of us has a disability, we can continue with life and we can live a productive life. So ladies and gentlemen, when I come back, I will be talking about falls, the importance of elderly patients, how do we take care of them when they're under our care, and some of the things that we can do. Let's go to another tune here now by Arvin, and when we come back, we'll be talking about the importance and facts about falls. We know a lot of people who, a lot of elderly patient falls. I see my good friend that who we work together, Mr. Leon St. Martin, all the way from Bagotstown, but he's living here in New York. I see our president, Mr. Anand Budram, just tune in. Thank you very much. I just say something about your book. As he's on, I'm sure he can put his number in where you guys could reach him. And if you need an autograph book from him, please don't hesitate to inform him. He's going to put his number on our chat box, and you guys could contact him. So let's go, guys. Good night, guys. Welcome again to the Mind-Body Connection. My name is Kenneth Rampersad, all the way from Guyana. I see Rakia. Rakia, you are you locked in and you're sharing. Thank you so much. Our good friend Harry George, thank you for tuning in. Shakila Shamsuddin, good night to you too. And you're watching from all the way from Canal number 2. Thank you very much. Welcome to this program. I hope that you continue to watch our program. Sangeet, she said, nice song. Thank you very much. Our good friend Sonia Debidin, thank you for tuning in. Mary Ann Lou, all the way from Canada. Let's see, Carla Baldio, thank you very much for tuning in. Salima Dean, somehow or the other, I know that name. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see what else we have here. Rakia, my sister all the way from Scarborough in Canada. I hope my two boys doing good there in Canada. They are on vacation there. And then, you know what, surprisingly, I see my friend Tara Thomas, all the way from Jamaica. She is living in Florida. We have worked so many years together. What a beautiful young lady. Thank you for tuning in. Our good friend, Mr. Deo Moti, thank you for tuning in. Shakila, thank you very much for tuning in. So, guys, let's go. My friend Angela Baker, a nurse who lives in Indiana. So that's nice. I'm so glad that we are having so much people and so diverse people that's watching our program from Florida, Indiana, Texas, all over the place. Also, my friend from Connecticut, Utria, he is a birdman and watching in my show. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you tuning in. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. Jasmine Mizier, she logged in from Canada. Thank you very much. Polly Shamir, thank you for tuning in. And so let's go. I don't think that I miss anybody. I don't really want to miss anybody. I want to say hi to all of you guys. Vishal Singh, let's go. So let's talk. Tonight, our topic is going to be about falls. As I told you guys early on the program, I was a nurse for a long time at this hospital. And there were so many elderly patients that would come into the hospital and they would be lying there all by themselves and nobody will come and take care of them. And I always think to myself, you know what? They are there for the mercy of the nurses and the healthcare worker that's there. And I always say, I wish I could ever get the forum to address some of these things and to talk about wills and so on. And you know what? I'm now getting the opportunity after about 25 years. So let me see what we can talk about. I want you guys to help me. Put what you want to say what you want to say in the chat box so we all could make this an interactive session. My friend Javier Perez, he's from Cuba too, but he's living in Florida. Priya Ajay, thank you very much from Guyana. Who else I see it? Oh, my good friend, Charlene Lawrence, who we just became friends on Facebook. And we say hi and hello to each other. We keep each other company sometime. I see Kausila Prasad. Good night, guys. Sandy, Tara, Sandy, thank you very much. Danwanti Singh, I'm so glad you guys are tuning in to this program, The Mind-Body Connection. As I tell you guys, it's brought to you by the Mind-Body Connection and the Caribbean Voice. So let's talk. Important facts about falls. You know, each year, millions of adult people who's 65 years of or older, they fall. In fact, more than 1 out of 4 adults, older adults, people fall each year. But less than half of them really tell their doctors. Falling once double. If you fall one time, it's not hard that you're going to fall again. And do you know, it says that by 2030, there'll be 7 falls like per hour. So we have to address falls. 1 out of 5 falls caused by serious injury, as broken bones or a head injury. Each year, 3 million older adults are treated in the emergency room, dependent department for falls each year. Over 800,000 patients a year are hospitalized because of the fall injuries, most often of head injuries, as we said, and fracture of the hip. And you guys know when that happens, it's not nice. More than 95% of hip fractures are caused by falling, usually by falling sideways. Falls are the most common cause of traumatic brain injury. And in 2015, the total medical cost for falls total more than $50 billion in the United States. And guess what? Medicare and Medicaid shoulder 75% of those falls, which means our tax dollars, a lot of our tax dollars went into people who fall. Many falls do not cause injuries, okay? These injuries can make it hard for a person to get around and do everyday activity or live on their own. Falls can cause broken bone, like twisted arms, ankle, and hip fractures. And as you know, when someone fractures their hip, can cause serious problem where they limit their movements, okay? Fall can cause serious head injuries too, as we said before, and these can be very serious, especially if the person is taking certain medicine like blood thinners. An older person who falls and hit their head should see the doctor immediately or right away to make sure that they don't have any brain injury. Many people who fall, even if they are not injured, become afraid of activities. When a person is less active, they become weaker, and the chance of them falling increase. And as I just told you guys about blood thinners, I'm not sure if some of you may know, but when you are taking blood thinners, you have to be very careful that you don't fall. One of the things can happen is that if you fall and you get an open wound, it could cause serious problem. You can bleed to death. And it's always advisable that when you go to the bathroom, that you wipe yourself gently, that you don't cause any bruising or anything. Again, you can bleed to death. So when you're taking blood thinner, be very careful. What condition that makes one more likely to fall? Research has identified many conditions that contribute to falling. These are called risk factors. Many risk factors can be changed or modified to help prevent falls, and they include like lower body weakness and vitamin D deficiency, that is not enough vitamin D in your system, difficulty walking or balance, use of medications such as tranquilizers, sedative or antidepressant. Even some over-the-counter medication can affect balance and how steady you are on your feet, like visual problem. As you get older, your vision, you lose your vision. Or sometimes you can get glaucoma, and that was cause a problem where you would not be able to see. Let's talk foot problem, like you get foot pain, you get arthritis in your foot. And another thing, a lot of people, they don't wear proper shoes. They just go and buy any kind of a shoes. But it's always good to get a proper shoes when you're older. In fact, anybody, when you stand on your feet all the time, it's so important that you get a good footwear so it could keep you very comfortable. Okay. He said home hazards are dangerous, such as broken or uneven steps and throw rugs or clutters that can be tripped over. And we'll talk more about that because of recently I did some visiting nurse services work here in New York, and I did visit about 15 elderly patients. And when I went to the apartment, my God, there's so much newspapers, there's chair all over the place, all manner of things they have. We call them sometimes, like they got the pier hut, they have that inside the house, and these things can really cause a problem. Most falls are caused by a combination of risk factors. Those more risk factors a person has, the greater the chances is that they fall. And what we are saying, if they have a lot of clutter in their apartment, definitely, man, somebody's going to fall sometime or the other. Okay? And as a healthcare provider, we can help cut down the risk of falling. We can help reduce the risk factors, like we said before. What can prevent a fall? Fall can be prevented. There are some simple things that you can do to keep yourself from falling. We're going to go to some music now, and when we come back, we're going to tell you of some of the things that you can really do to prevent falling in your apartment or your house.
Sacrifice, just a simple word. Something's looking better, baby. Just pass it through. And it's no sacrifice, just a simple word. It's too hard to living in two separate worlds. But it's no sacrifice.
Welcome back to the Mind Body Connection, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Kenneth Rampersad. Thank you for tuning in to this program. I see Shelly Chunilal is on, locked on. I see Arjun Madre. Thank you very much for tuning on. Jamir just tuned on. If you guys don't know, but Jamir is a singer from all the way from Canada, and he is a singer. I like his music. He is playing some good music and with good meaning and good message. So he's a guy that we really need to support. Also, I see Dia Roy. Thank you very much for tuning into our program. Let's see, my friend again, Charlene Lawrence. She says, good information. Salimuddin, you are 100% correct. Guyanese don't like to spend money on their sneakers. It's most New York HHC. Most Guyanese need problems as soon as the radiologists see it. A guy on the schedule they assume is for the knees. I understand you. I understand what you're saying. John Nimot, all the way from Suriname. Hiralal Ram, thank you very much for tuning in. I see Miss Neela Pawaru. Narain is on. Thank you very much for tuning in. Our friend Cassandra Fox, all the way in Barbados. Well, thank you very much. You say you want to hear the Bajan accent. So, Cassandra, I tell you, I could talk a little Bajan too when I get ready because I spend so much time in Barbados. All right? So that's for you, Miss Cassandra. Thank you for tuning in. Rakia again. John Nimot, thank you very much. I see Rakia say it's it's free to share. So, guys, please continue to share. It's good information I'm going to share with you guys tonight as we are doing this. I see Harry says, thanks for sharing the information. Kent Rampersad, we need to get government in North America to spend some money on mental health. Yes, you are correct. I see Tara Thomas says, she shared a page. Thank you very much, Tara. Who else we miss? Nayan Chunilal, thank you for tuning in. Miss Diana Shivaram, thank you very much for tuning in. Gita Baldeo, you guys are on. Thank you very much. Let's see. There is certain things that you can do to help actually preventing falls. And one of the things that you can do, You always talk to your doctor. Ask your doctor or healthcare provider to evaluate your risk for falling and talk with them about specific things that you can really do to prevent you from falling. Ask your doctor or pharmacist to review your medication to see if any might make you dizzy or sleepy. This should include prescription medication or the over-the-counter medication. Ask your doctor or healthcare provider about taking vitamin D supplement. As we said earlier, also do some strength and balance exercise. Do exercise that makes your legs stronger and improve your balance. This Tai Chi is a good example of exercise that you can do. Also, like I said, week after week, always walk 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week, which is going to help you. Also, another thing, as we talked earlier about check your eyes. Have your eyes checked by your doctor at least once a year, and be sure to update your eyeglasses if needed. If you have bifocal or progressive lens, you may want to get a pair of glasses with only your distance prescription for outdoor activities such as walking. Sometimes these types of lenses can make things seem closer or farther away that they really are. Make your home safer. You know what? You can get rid of things you could trip on, like, for example, electric cards, newspaper, all these things. And then with rug and all too, we sometimes have, I see a lot of places we go, people like to have their rugs. You can also add grab bar inside and outside of your tub or shower next to the toilet too, that when you go there you can hold on. You can always put side rails on all your steps. Make sure your home has lots of light by adding more light and brighter bulbs. And as we are talking about we talk about exercise, and I tell you, it's so important. Physical activity can go a long way towards preventing fall, with your doctor. And one of the things is that you need to talk to your doctor before you go and walk a mile a day. And I'm saying this constantly. You don't have to walk 25 miles a day. Just walk like a mile or half a mile a day, and it's going to help you. Consider, as I said, keep walking. It's very good. And as I said, with shoes, get good shoes to walk with. I see people wearing their slippers and all these things. You don't know when you can trip with these things. You put a nice pair of sneakers that have good balance in them and good foam. And sometimes Medicare could pay for all these things. You don't have to take money out of your pocket to go and get these things. As I said, sensible shoes. That help reduce the knee pain and the joint pain. The other thing, as I said, have a lot of light in your apartment. Place night lights in your bedroom, bathroom, and even your hallway. Place a lamp within reach of your bedside. And you know what? We are living in such a modern society now that when you get off your bed, you can just touch a lamp and you will get light on it. So you don't have to worry that you have to go and turn the light on. Make clear paths to light switches that aren't near a room entrance. Consider trading traditional switches for glow-in-the-dark light or switches. And you know that some of them that glows, that's really good, that you can just walk and see where they are. That's some of the best investment that you can really make. Always store flashlight where you can see at night. You can keep one right next to your bed, that in case there is a blackout, that you can get able to walk sometimes. Also, it is important to, in the later stage of the any disease, you may fall more easily. In fact, you may be thrown off balance by just a simple throw. We are not young no more like when we were 15, 20 years old. We run, we jump, and all these things. When you get older, you have to take your time and do things. The following, suggestion I want to give you these suggestions to make when you are getting up. For example, make U-turns. Instead of getting up from your body on your feet and make a sudden move, distribute your weight evenly between your feet and don't lean on one side. Avoid carrying things while you're walking. Avoid walking backwards. Daily activities such as dressing, eating, bathing, or writing can be very difficult for people, especially that we talk about Parkinson's disease. An occupational therapist can show you techniques that makes daily life a little more easier. Alternative medicine, you know what, you can do some of these things to support yourself by massages. Massage therapy can reduce muscle tension and promote relaxation. This therapy, however, is really covered by health insurance, so sometimes you may have to pay. And you know what? Sometimes these things are not so very expensive. Also, Tai Chi, an ancient form of Chinese exercise. Tai Chi, right? It employs slow flowing movements that may improve flexibility, balance, and muscle strength. Tai Chi may also prevent falls. Several forms of Tai Chi also tailor for people of any age of physical condition. And guess what? With Tai Chi, you don't have to rush yourself and do all manner of rough exercise. You just stand there, and you can do it on your bed, and you can sit down and move your hand gently. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to go to the park really to do that if you don't have to. Yoga, also we talk about yoga several times. In yoga, gentle stretching, movement, and possesses may increase your flexibility and balance. You may modify most poses to fit your physical activities. I have never heard about this other one where it says Alexander technique. This is strange to me. This technique, which focuses on muscle posture, balance, and thinking of how you use your muscle, may reduce muscle tension and pain. Meditation. In meditation, you quietly reflect and focus your mind on the idea or the image. Meditation may reduce stress and pain and improve your sense of well-being. Also, we talk about before on this program, pet therapy. It's so good, and I've been talking, I want a dog a long time, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But if you're an elderly patient, it's always good to have a pet. You know, that will increase your flexibility and movement and improve your emotional health. And I have to tell you, you know, a lot of times I walk and I see, you know, a lot of elderly walking with their dogs on the street. And I said to myself, if they may think, well, they like their pet. But guess what? That pet may help them to do exercise, help them to walk and keep them fit. They may not understand how important it is to have a pet, especially if you're older, you know. No matter what, you know, the dog will want to go outside and you will have to go take the dog no matter what. So therefore, you're, you know, forcing yourself to go and take exercise. Depending on how a senior lands when they fall, they could experience anything from, I said, broken hip and a brain injury. And that's when this happened, you know what, it's sad because when you damage your brain, it's no good. According to the CDC, trauma to the brain was the cause of 41% of fall fatality among seniors in 2010. So you see that so much patient, they're falling, and it's sad. So if we as their children or their healthcare provider, we can help them, preventing their fall would be a good thing. Okay, guys, so let's go for another song. You know, I'm here alone today, so need to take a little fresh air and some breaths. So we're coming back, and I'm going to talk to you about blood pressure. I want to add postural hypertension because this is sudden and this can really make you fall. So let's go for some music.
Never seen you looking so lovely as you did tonight. I've never seen you shine so bright. I've never seen so many men ask you if you wanted to dance. They're looking for a little romance, given half a chance. I have never seen that dress you're wearing, or the highlights in your hair that catch your eye. I have been blind. The lady in red is dancing with me, cheek to cheek. There's nobody here. It's just you and me. turned to me and smiled. It took my breath away. I have never had such a feeling of complete and utter love as I do tonight. Lady in red is dancing with me, cheek to cheek. There's nobody here, it's just you and me. It's where I wanna be. Well, I hardly know this beauty by my side. I'll never forget the way you look tonight. I never will forget the way you look tonight. Lady in red, lady in red, lady in red, my lady.
That's right, guys. Lady in Red. Everybody's feeling a little love tonight. Well, thank you for tuning in back. Welcome back to the Mind Body Connection. This is Kenneth Rampersad here. Thank you very much for tuning in. I see we have here Deepa Dasrat from Florida. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hasina Bano from Canada. My dear, I miss you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Who else we have here? Charlene said she loved my accent. Well, thank you very much, my dear. Let's see. Rakia. Thank you very much for tuning into our program. And I see you're very active. I want to say thank you so much for your input. Jenny Prasad, you said good night. Good night to you. Yes, Mr. Madre, it's a lot of love going on here. And yes, I miss my sidekick. She is in Guyana taking care of business for the Caribbean Voice. And I hope that you guys in Guyana, especially in Skeldon, Berbice area, support the Caribbean Voice show in Berbice. It's going to be in Skeldon on this Saturday the 3rd. And I think it's going to start at 5 o'clock. You can always talk to Inbox Shanaz, and she will... she can always tell you exactly much more information about this show. But whatever you do, please support this worthy cause. John Namut, Lady in Red was dancing with me, but I slipped, fall, and I hit my head. Well, you know what? I want to talk about that. I'm glad I'm reading your comment, John. If you have someone that's fall, the best thing that you can do, take it seriously. Don't think that you are the nurse or the doctor or you're the X-ray technician going to see what happened. The best thing that you can do, and I will talk about that in just a few minutes, of what you can do when someone fall. So I was talking about postural hypertension, and this is what happens. Postural hypertension can be caused or linked to high blood pressure, diabetes, heart failure, hardening of the arteries, arteriosclerosis, taking some diuretics, antidepressants, or medicines to lower your blood pressure, neurological condition like Parkinson's disease, and some types of dementia, dehydration, vitamin B12 deficiency or anemia, alcoholism, prolonged bed rest. What can I do to manage postural hypertension? Tell your healthcare provider about any symptoms. Ask if any of your medicine that you're taking should reduce or stop it. Get out of bed slowly. First, sit up, sit on the side of the bed, then get up. When you get older, it's not like you're young before. A good thing to do when you get out of the bed, you sit on the bed and let the blood get to circulate in your body a little bit, and then you get out of bed. Because what happens is that that's when your blood is low, and it's not up all over in your general body. So you give it some time so it could circulate towards your general body, and it would help you that you would not fall, you would not feel any dizzy. Exercise gently before getting up. Move your feet up and down, and clench your fist. Or after standing up, march in some way, like in the bedroom, you walk a little bit. Make sure you have something to hold on to when you stand up. Don't walk if you're feeling dizzy. Like I always tell my patients, if you are feeling dizzy, try find the nearest seat to sit. If you can't find a seat, you can sit on the floor. It's fine. It's better you do that than you really go and fall and hit yourself and you experience a fractured skull or a broken hip. So do that, okay? Do not drink a lot of water. Drink 6 to 8 glasses of water or a low-calorie drink each day, unless you have been told to limit your fluid intake. That's, for example, like if you're on dialysis or if your body is retaining water. Avoid taking very hot baths or showers. Try sleep with extra pillow to raise your head up. What are the symptoms? Although many people with postural hypertension have no symptoms, others do. These symptoms can differ from person to person. Like I always said, we are individuals, and this may include dizziness or lightheadedness, feeling about to faint, passing out or falling, headache, blur or tunnel vision, feeling vague or muddled, feeling pressure across the back of your shoulder or neck, feeling like you're feeling nausea or hot or clammy, weakness or fatigue. When my symptoms happen, you know what, when standing or sitting up suddenly. So again, I'm going to tell you guys, don't get up suddenly. Take your time and get up. In the morning when your blood pressure is naturally lower, after a large meal or after drinking some alcohol, during exercise, when straining on the toilet, when you're ill, you become anxious or panicky. And I want to tell you guys too that when you see someone fall, try your best not to rush into them and say, you know what, I'm going to pick them up. You want to stay calm and help your loved one to remain calm by encouraging them to take a slow, deep breaths. You don't want to run there and scream, oh my God, mom fall or dad fall. You are going to get them excited. You want to stay calm slowly. You call somebody. You examine them to see if they have any injuries like bruises, bleeding, possible sprain and broken bones. If you see any swelling, ask them if they're experiencing any pain, where it is located and how severe it is. If they have any serious injury, for example, a broken bone, then don't move them. Again, if you see they hold their head and they're crying out, is that because they probably hit their head? Don't move them. If you see that a bone protruding out of probably one of the muscle, try not to do that, to move them. When you move them, you can cause more injury to them. Help your loved one. You know what you can do too? You call 911 and keep your loved one as warm and comfortable. Stay still as possible. Keep them safe and warm until help arrives. Help your loved one roll over onto the side and assist them in getting onto their hands or knees. If you want them to get up, if there is no injuries, if they suffer any sore knees, place a towel gently beneath them to make the step more comfortably. Excuse me. How to get back up. Stay calm and take a few deep breaths. Examine yourself for injuries. If you find that you're injured, unable to get up, try to alert someone to your predicament while you're waiting to help them. If you are confident you have a broken bone or you or experience a serious injury, search for the nearest piece of furniture which has to be sturdy, that can really bear your weight, and try to hold on to that furniture and try your best to see if you can get up. Okay? And you do this slowly. All right? Get to a kneeling position and place your hand on the stable part of the furniture. And I think most likely is a seat, or you can even hold on the handle. Most likely on the seat. Choose your strongest leg and move the knee forward to place your foot on the floor. You should end up on a kneeling lunge with your hands still on the piece of furniture for support. Again, use that chair or something that you can support. I've seen so many patients fall, and I have helped them get up. And a lot of time I try to encourage them to get up themselves. stay sitting until you're confident that you can really move around, and that you don't want to hurt yourself again. If you see that you don't have enough energy or strength to pull yourself up, don't do that. Once you're up, notify your doctor that you have fallen, and keep an eye out for emergency and pain and any sight of injury. Last week, we can go to some music now. While our DJ is getting some music, get ready. I see my neighbor Debbie Sunny Roberts locked on. Thank you very much, Nate, for tuning in always. Baby Rupla, thank you for tuning in all the way from Australia. I always like to see when we have viewers from different parts of the world. It makes me feel glad, and I know Shanaz feels the same way in the Caribbean Voice. We are so glad that we have all of you tuning in here. Jenny Prasad, dancing is a good exercise. Play some good chutney, and that will be good. Ravindra Budu, play a nice tune for my lovely neighbor, Deepa from Canada. And so Deepa, we will, as Ravindra Budu says, he's from Lenora too. We can dedicate this song to all the beautiful ladies out there who's listening. Juanita Khan, thank you for tuning in. Let's see, Harry George, Hasina Banu, so much Lenora people. Thank you very much, Hasina Banu, Deepa, all of us from Lenora. I want to say thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. And I am not sure, are you guys ready? We are ready for some music. Let's go.
कसम वो इरादा
This song is for all the beautiful ladies that's on tonight.
तेरा वादा वो कसम वो इरादा भूलेगा दिल जिस दिन तुम्हें वो दिन जिंदगी का आखिरी दिन होगा क्या हुआ तेरा वादा वो कसम वो इरादा बाहों में बीती हर शाम बेवफा ये भी क्या याद नहीं क्या हुआ तेरा वादा वो कसम वो इरादा भूलेगा दिल जिस दिन तुम्हें वो दिन जिंदगी का आखिरी दिन होगा क्या हुआ तेरा वादा वो कसम वो इरादा दौलत का ऐसा भी क्या कि तुझे कुछ भी याद नहीं क्या हुआ तेरा वादा वो कसम वो इरादा भूलेगा दिल जिस दिन तुम्हें वो दिन जिंदगी का आखिरी दिन होगा क्या हुआ तेरा वादा.
Yes, yes, yes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mind Body Connection, brought to you by the kind courtesy of the Caribbean Voice. As you know, the Caribbean Voice is a non-profit organization that deals with suicide prevention and domestic violence, among many other things, especially in our beloved Guyana. So I see a lot of you guys were dancing and you're on fire and you're giving roses and a lot of hearts, a lot of love. So this is what we want to promote actually on this show, a lot of love. And guys, I have a surprise for you. Don't feel left out because you guys on my mind too. Okay, Mr. Bodu, don't worry. I am not sure if you're thinking about Banu, but I know Banu was one beautiful girl in Lenora. Anyway, let's go. As you guys know, last week we had talked about dementia and Parkinson's disease and so on. I had to cut short some of the program and some of the things that I really want to say. But because, and I said, you know what, I could leave it out for this week because we are going to be talking about safety this week with the elderly. And so here, some of the things I came up with patients, the elderly with dementia and so on. Here, some of the overview of most common dementia-associated behavior with suggestions that may be useful in handling them. People with dementia walk seamlessly, aimlessly, for a variety of reasons such as boredom, medication side effect, or to look for something or someone. They also may be trying to fulfill a physical need. For example, they may be thirsty or hungry, or there's a need to use the toilet or exercise. Another good thing that you may want to do with someone who elderly or have dementia, you may want to have a commode right next to the bed. And this is another way how you can prevent fall for the elderly. Okay? The other thing is that make time for regular exercise to minimize restlessness. Another good thing to do, despite some people are old or they're up in age, they could still walk. A good thing that family member could do is to take them for a little walk, a little outing. You can go to the park and walk. And what happens when they get tired, they come home and they give the Lord their soul to keep they sleep, if you know what I mean. And so you may even get more rest doing this for them. Try a barrier like curtain or a colored streamer to mask the door like a stop sign. Do not enter sign may even help you, help them so that they wouldn't cross that path. Place a black mat right in front of the porch. This may appear to be like an impossible hole for the person with dementia. Add child safety plastic covers on doorknobs. Consider installing a home security system or monitoring system designed to keep watch over them, especially if they have dementia. Another good thing, I want to talk about monitoring. So you know what, a good thing to do that if you have the elderly, with so much things going on, there is so much different camera. There are cheap camera, there are expensive camera, that now you can put so much cameras in your house and you can watch your family from work. You can put it on your phone or your desktop computer and you can get to see what your family doing home. You can even communicate with them. And if you have children too, you can do the same thing. So I encourage you to do these kind of things. And one has to be very careful, with your elderly, leave them alone home. Another thing, if you have someone with dementia, now you have things like GPS system that you can put on them, that in case anything happen, you can track them. Another thing that you can also do for the elderly is to put a name band on their hand, like a permanent name band. And you can put their name and you can put your phone number on that band. So in case by chance they get strayed away, they walk through the door and they can't find their way back home, that somebody find them and they can look at their hand. They could if they find them, look at their hand and call your number and you can go pick them up, or they could even call the police to come and get them, and your family will be safe. Put away essential items such as confuse the person's coat, purse or glasses, some individuals will not go without certain articles. Like, if they don't get a coat, they would not go. If they don't get the glasses, they may not go. Have your relative, I said, wear ID band, and you could also sew their name on their piece of clothes that they are wearing. Another thing, tell neighbors about your relative wandering behavior and make sure that they have your phone number that they could call you. Okay? So these are some of the things I would encourage you guys to do. We can go, I'm going to give some greetings and we can go for another song. In the meantime, I'm going to say hello to Ganika Singh, who just joined the Caribbean Voice. I want to say thank you very much for locking into this program. John, thank you again. Bibi Jenny Dubé. First time I'm seeing this name. Thank you for tuning in to the Mind Body Connection. We are on every Monday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And most of the 99.9% of the time, you will see me with my co-host, Shanaz Hussein. Shanaz right now is in Guyana with the Concert of Hope doing some charity work so that it could benefit the Caribbean Voice. So we can get to do much more things for those people in Guyana and elsewhere. So guys, here is a good tune for the guys now. People like Rabindra Budu, Arjuna Madre, John Namet. Enjoy the tune. It's for you guys. It's especially for you guys. Welcome to the Mind Body Connection, ladies and gentlemen. They want us to block this show, but let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mind Body Connection. We will slow this song up and we'll head right over to elderly law and senior legal matters. We are going to cut this song out because we stopped the song because I don't want Facebook to lock us off, to knock us out of Facebook. So let's go. There are myriads of law in the United States designed to protect seniors as they decline both mentally and physically. The broad topic is called elder law, and it's covered a variety of issues from healthcare to social security to guardian and to fraud and so much more. It also deals with wills and estate planning and what happens to your asset after you've long gone. It can be it could be a complicated tissue topic, but important to know that as we get older, here are some important issues to be aware of, and that's advanced directives. You never know what might happen to you down the road. So it's best to be prepared. As you know, we are not going to stay older, and we're not going to stay younger all the time. As every day we are getting older, and we must plan for that to happen. Okay, so it's best to be prepared. You may be fine now, but if you ever become incapable of handling your own affairs, it's important that you and your loved ones have a plan for what to do. Here are some advanced directives you can take while you're still sound of mind and body. Again, against the day that you may not be. As a person gets older and begins to lose their faculty, it's more difficult to make important decisions regarding their own lives. They might be a child or a spouse or a trusted friend to advise them on these decisions, but they may decline further. It may be necessary to give that other person complete control over their lives and affairs. Power of attorney or is a legal document that authorizes someone to act on behalf of the other person in various matters, such as financial, legal, and etc. This can include things such as paying bills, managing property, and making medical and end-of-life decisions. There are several different types of power of attorney that can be granted. And again, you know what? You can let people help you do things without giving away everything or signing over everything to them. And let's talk about the general power of attorney. This gives a guardian complete control over their affairs, okay? They handle all of the person's money and other assets and can make any and all decisions on their behalf, like opening their business for them, speak for them in court, and more. It usually give a person no longer have physical or mental capacity to make decision for themselves or act on their behalf. So a good thing to do while you still have your capacity to make out some kind of paper so that the person can represent you in court and any place else, any important decision, like for example, the bank and so on. Special power of attorney. This allows a person to give control of one specific aspect of their lives over something else, but retain autonomy in all area. So again, the person can only do one thing and the rest of the business you can take care of. It is a given when the person is no longer capable of doing specific things but still retain their general mental faculty. Let me talk about healthcare power of attorney. And I'm going to tell you guys this. You know why I bring up these topics for this one here is because a lot of times I go to the hospital. While I was at the hospital, I see so much patient there. They're 85 years old. They're 90 years old. And they stop breathing, and what? We start to pump their chest. We initiate CPR, and I'm going to talk about that because I see Lena, I just wrote something about that. They start CPR, and you know what? Sometimes, in my opinion, I say to myself, my God, they're like 85 years old. I think it's time maybe to go and rest. You're not living a purpose life no more. But it's all depends on what the person wants to do. It's not what I want, but what the person wants. While they're alive, they have all their faculty inside of them where they could make that decision for themselves. Like, for example, like I tell them, and I'm giving you an example for myself. I told my wife, and I'm going to put it in writing, you know what? If I stop breathing tomorrow, because I have young children, I may want them to do CPR and to revive me and to give me another chance in life. But when I become 85 and 90 years old, I may not want them to do all these things on me. I would want to go in one piece, that nobody would try to come and revive me and prolong my life. When the purpose life done in me, then I want to move on to the next phase of what we call life. Ladies and gentlemen, healthcare proxy of attorney, the power of attorney. This specifically grants a person the authority to make medical decision on someone else's behalf. This can include things like medication, surgery, and other procedures, as well as what action should be taken during the person's last day. So, for example, you can't talk, you can't do anything. You make this paper and you give somebody, you tell them exactly what you want. If you want the NG tube in your nose, you tell them that. If you don't want it, you tell them you don't want the NG tube. For example, a feeding tube. If you can't eat, doctors may want to put a feeding tube in your stomach. You can write in your paper, in your power of attorney, listen to me, I don't want them to just document it, that, you know what, I don't want no feeding tube. You can put specifically all that you really want. For a senior whose physical and mental health are declining, it can be a good idea to make arrangements in advance to hand some form of power of attorney over to someone you trust when you are no longer capable of yourself. Doing it voluntarily is much easier for all that's involved than having to go to court and have them declare you legally incapable. So you don't want to cause all these problems with your family, with your wife or your husband who you left behind. You want to put all this paperwork. And guess what? It may not necessarily be that you have to put your children to take care of you when you to make those decisions for you. You may have a niece or a nephew or a grandchild who you trust more, because some reason or the other you may not get along with your children and you want to put somebody else. They can do that. And let's talk about a living will. A living will is similar to healthcare power of attorney in that it deals with the person's medical issue after they're no longer here, like physical or mentally able to make important decisions for themselves. However, while healthcare power of attorney grant someone the authority to act as an agent on someone else's behalf and make those decisions for them, in a living will, the senior write down their medical wishes themselves while they have the capacity, like I explained to you earlier, in anticipation of the day when they can no longer make those kinds of decisions. These are forms you can fill out when you which ask you questions about what specifically you want to be done in various medical situations, such as if you need a long-term care facility or life-saving surgery, or you're in your final days. Different states have different requirements for filling a living will. So please, by no means you just take all of this. You talk to someone in your own state who can help you and navigate you to do all of these things. Okay, let's talk about DNR, and this is something very important that I really want to talk to you guys about. A DNR means do not resuscitate. A DNR orders state no immediate life-saving measures are to be taken on your behalf. For instance, if you suddenly stop breathing or your heart stops, a paramedic should not perform CPR. And when I say CPR, I mean start pumping on your chest to revive you so that you can live longer. You don't want to do that. It also means that you do not wish to keep on life support, so they don't have to put all these tubes down your throat to prolong your life. While a living will is filled by an attorney, your doctor that you have, you could also tell your doctor this when you go, say, doctor, I'm 80 years old. I don't want to be revived if I stop breathing. I want to go in peace. So I would encourage you guys to do this. Sign the DNR paper. And you could be anytime. You could do it while you're young or you're old. If you get an accident, you know, it's sudden. We don't know. Life is so unpredictable. We don't know actually what tomorrow holds for us. So all these documents, it's good to have. And all these things you can discuss with your doctor. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to another music, another song. And this time it goes for everybody. I see Maria Harris. Good night, my dear. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Yes, I wouldn't want my son to have to make such a painful decision. And then, you know, Charlene, to be very honest with you, if you have a lot of children and you have, like, let's say 5 children, and you don't want to be revived, you know what? There is going to be some division. So the best thing to do, you could cause a lot of problems with the children. One may want you to be revived. Another set may say, no, let mommy or daddy live to see, or let Tom, Dick, and Harry live. And you said that, you know what? I don't want to be revived. But guess what? You didn't put it in writing. Therefore, the hospital is not going to pay attention to that. They're going to do what they're supposed to do and what's best for you at that time. So again, go ahead and make that, put all your desire into that will. Let's go for the music, and this time it go for everybody who locked into this program tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mind Body Connection, brought to you by the Caribbean Voice. I say, please share Concert for Hope in Ghana edition at the Classic Hotel. Get your tickets from NAS Supermarket, Baiko Supermarket. For Saturday, August the 3rd, you can get 79 market vendor, Sanu the Butcher in the market, Vicky Drugs in the market, Derek Snack at front of 79 market. So guys, please, don't forget, if you're living in the Berbice area and you would like to go, even if you're on the west coast of the Demerara, please support this worthy cause. I see my aunt Delari Sigo Bin. She just tuned in. Thank you very much, my dear aunt, for tuning in and for watching and for your support, okay? Also, Charlene, thank you for tuning in. I'm so glad that you're on. So we'll have much more things to talk about probably later on this evening. Sherry Sukram, thank you very much for tuning in to the Mind Body Connection. Chanel Jonas, thank you for tuning in. First time I'm seeing your name. Madre, yes, thank you very much for the words of encouragement. We got Maureen, Harris, beautiful tune. Deepa Dasra, thank you very much for your kind words. Tara Thomas, you are in love. The beautiful thing. I always want the best for you. You know that. So if you find a good love, hey, all power to you. And I hope that you keep coming back, Tara Thomas. I would like to see you come back. Maria Harris, thank you very much. So let's talk about guardianship or guardianship or guardianship, in an elderly person has not given power of attorney to someone else. You know what? If an elderly person has not given power of attorney to someone else, but they clearly no longer have the capacity to act on their own behalf, then a guardian can be appointed for them. The court appoints a trusted family member or friend to make decisions on their behalf, such as financial and medical. If no family member or trusted friend are able to take on that responsibility, then a professional guardian is going to do that. And you know what I encourage people to do is to make all these plans. Don't let the government or any court have to come in to say what to do with your body. You make that decision on your own and see whatever you want to do with your body. Because if there's no family member, you can always find a friend or somebody close can come and help you make that decision. Friendly grandparent syndrome. I've not heard of this before. This refers to the act of elderly people tend to be more trusting, which makes it easier to take advantage of them. This is partly taken advantage of by like telemarketers, those people who call on the phone, the telephone-based cameras. A person who seems charming and helpful on the phone can convince an upsetting senior, suspecting senior to buy a product or service for far more than it's worth, or simply to provide their credit card or the bank information. And guess what? When they get all this information, they rob you, they take out your money, they drain your account, and you don't have not much. Statistics have shown that seniors don't like to report any fraud, and sometimes when they do, they don't know where to call concerning and report all of these. To protect yourself against fraud and elder abuse, make it a point to never give out your financial information over the phone. And we have heard this time and time again. Do not give anybody your social security account, or don't give them your bank account information. Never pay a fee in order to collect winning. Sometimes they'll call you and they said, you are the winner for so and so, but first you have to give them your bank account and information and all these things. Don't get tied up with all of that. Do not sign any document first without consulting an attorney or a financial expert. And I'm sure that you would have an attorney if you're living, especially in the North America area. And if someone tells you that their particular product or service is necessary or required, always get a second opinion and from someone that you trust before moving forward. Also, let's talk about charity fraud. A lot of times when things happen like hurricanes, a lot of people call the elderly people, individuals, and tell them, you know what, we are collecting money. Can you please donate to us? And a lot of time, because the elderly, they are so fragile, they feel sorry for the person and for the incident that took place, for the tragedy. And then guess what? They give them a check, and then the person would scam them out of money and utilize their money. So be very careful what you do. Also, let's talk about home repair scams. Sometimes these guys pass around your streets and they see your house look old from the outside and they would come and tell you, you know what, we can fix your house for cheap. let us come in and do an evaluation, and you now come and you invite them in your house, you let them sit down, and next thing you know is that they rob you all your money. Or if they don't rob your money, they may want to find a way how they could come into your house and see how they could exit if they come in here, which window they could use to escape, and which door they can use to escape. So be very careful. Sometimes they want to quote a price that sounds reasonable and good, and you get so excited. Now you said yes. By then, once they have had a close look at the house, as I tell you, they may want to come and rob you. Also, we're going to talk about trust and estates. Trust and estate, which is very important. You know, one of the most important legal issue as you get older is what happens to your estate after you have long gone. Even if you don't have very much, it is important to lay out a specific plan for your asset. You know, as I said, despite you may have a little bit. Otherwise, the people who survive, you could end up embroiling them in legal battle and red tape for years to come afterwards. And I want to give you an example that I witnessed for myself. I know this guy died, and what happened when he died, his money, he had it in his own account, not in his wife or his children. And then guess what happened? When he died, I was there, and the wife was trying to get some money to bury him. Unfortunately, the bank told the wife that, you know what, he don't have you as a beneficiary. And so what happened, she could not get any money to bury her husband. She had to get money and bury him. And so what happens with his money, and I'm going to explain to you, it has to go to court, probate court, especially if there's other children and a lot of children involved. So now what happens is that what happened to the wife, she will get half of the money that the person who died left, and the rest of the money, let's say there's $100,000, the wife will get $150,000, and if the husband have 5 children, that other $50,000 is going to be divided up between the 5 children, and then you guys will have to go to court for all of this. So it doesn't really make sense that you live like this. You have your wife and you can't trust her to do these kind of things. You know what I'm saying? So we can go to a nice song, and when we come back, we will talk more about trust and estate, how we do this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen?
Ram naam ka pakka, Ram naam ka pakka. Put one hand on your waist and one hand over your head and get ready to chumki. Salute. Ho ja Ram naam ka pakka lobhi, kya gaya mein rakha. Ho ja Ram naam ka pakka lobhi, kya gaya mein rakha. Kya gaya mein rakha, kya gaya mein rakha. Ho ja Ram naam ka pakka lobhi, kya gaya mein rakha. Ho ja Ram naam ka pakka lobhi, kya gaya mein rakha. walk up your body. This is a celebration, more like a big reunion. We don't play with illusions, but happy nation. Everybody come and dance, clap together. Now we move to the tassa. Everybody come and dance, clap together. It's GI Big Rich and Charmer.
दुनिया दौलत मालिक जाना बनिया बैठ लड़ाई
दुनिया दौलत मालिक जाना बनिया बैठे लदाई
वो जाने माया संग गए सब यही रह जाए ओ जा राम नाम का पक्का लोभी
क्या बया में रखा
ओ जा राम नाम का पक्का लोभी
क्या बया में रखा
क्या बया में रखा क्या बया में रखा
ओ जा राम नाम का पक्का लोभी
क्या बया में रखा
ओ जा राम नाम का पक्का लोभी
क्या बया में रखा
सलूट
All right, guys, welcome back to the Mind Body Connection. This is your host, Kenneth Ramprasad. My co host is in Guyana at this time. I see Debbie Sanyasi. My dear, thank you very much. Raymond Hamid, thank you for tuning in all the way from Virginia. Maureen is on. John Sheila Mangar Singh, another Lenora girl. Thank you very much for tuning in. Shabir Baksh from the No Janjat group. Thank you for tuning in. Sherry Sukram. Gonika, you are back. Great tune, she says. Thank you very much, guys. Hemraj Nitran, thank you very much for tuning into our program. Arjun Madre, so true. Yes, my brother. Thank you very much for all your support, all of you guys who locked in tonight. And, you know, Lena said something very important and that stuck with me. You know, a lot of times, you know, I know in our Guyanese community, we see somebody fall or somebody's dying and, you know, we just run and we stand there. But a good thing to do is all of us, your children, we all should learn how to do CPR so that when we go and we see somebody is not breathing, we as an individual, we can initiate CPR and not just run and watch what's going on again. So, you know, some or the other, learn how to do CPR so we can help each other. Whether it could be your neighbor, you on the subway, you're on the bus or anything, learn CPR so you could save a life. You know, estate planning law involve more than just the will. It will also cover many of the issues we are already covered by, such as DNR, power of attorney, and living will, as well as tax issue related to your property and more. Most estate laws varied from state to state, like I said before. So to find out what you need to do and make sure these issues are well dealt with property, talk to a lawyer in your state who knows best. Especially, and they should know real estate law planning. They can also help you go through all of the important decisions, making sure everything is legally binding and save your family as much hassle as possible after you have gone a long time. It is also important to appoint an executor for your will. This is the person who will oversee the distribution of your asset and make sure that your final wishes be honored when you die. Other duties of the executor may include, and I say that, filing a copy of the will with the probate court, managing any income funds, and paying any remaining bills, paying any taxes or outstanding debts, notifying banks, credit card companies, government agencies, and other institutions of your debt. Obviously, for issues that involve payment, the money comes out of the estate rather than the executor pocket. In fact, often an executor will be paid for their services if the money can be found to pay the deceased final debt, then the portion of the property, what they will do, they will sell it or they will auction it off. And so even if you had promised somebody a piece of whatever it is, a part of the house or a piece of jewelry, so make sure that you distribute this money equally, and make sure you leave some money to pay off all your debt. And you can write all of these things in your will. You know what, you're going to pay off all your debt, and you can say, I'm going to pay off all my debt, and whatever left can be distributed to all my children. Obviously, for issues that involve payment, as we said again, yes, make sure you make all these things and put them in writing. Don't just tell one child or two children. Let everybody know. And it's always good to do things. You have your children, you sit down, you let all of them sit down and let them know what is your plan, what is your desire. You don't wait until you to cause a lot of problem after you're dead and gone. You didn't tell anybody anything, and so there's cause of problems. This one will fight with that one. This one didn't get enough, and so we and hope that sometime your children will honor your wish and do what is right for you. Let's talk about trust. In some situation, it may behoove you to put your asset into trust. That means that a trusted third party is given care of your asset until such time as your beloved ones are able to claim it later on. And this may help your family to avoid probate after you die. So remember, we talk about probate court. You don't want your things to end up in probate court, because then guess what? You will have to pay a lot of taxes for your things. And if you die and you leave your house and you don't put it in somebody's name, I'm definitely sure that you will have to pay some money to the government. It's not going to go where you say, I'm going to get a free ride, or the children are going to get these things. Put your things in writing, ladies and gentlemen. To my viewers, our viewers, please, again, put all what you want, what you desire in writing. This can help your family to avoid probate, like I said, which is often a long, drawn-out process that delay them in getting what you have promised them. There are several different types of trust that you can do. Excuse me. And one of them is called revocable living trust. A living trust is very similar to a will. You may put your asset into a trust and name various beneficiaries for certain. In a revocable living trust, yourself are usually the trustee to manage the assets in whatever way you see it fit. That is, to live on them as you normally would. So you can live on your asset and all that you have. Since you are the trustee, you can also make changes to that trust as you see it fit. For example, you can change the beneficiary and what they're entitled to. You also name a successor trustee in case anything happened, who basically act as an executor when you die and distribute your asset according to your wishes. The only difference between that and a regular will is that all can be done immediately rather waiting for the probate court. And then you have the irrevocable trust. In this way, in an irrevocable trust, living trust, someone else's name as a trustee to your asset. In a sense, you give your family their inheritance now instead of you wait until after you die. By reducing your estate value in this way, you can also greatly reduce the amount of taxes you have to pay on it. You can also choose to keep a portion of your asset out of trust for you to live on for the rest of your life, or the appointed trustee can provide you out of the trust whenever you decide. Though, remember that unlike the revocable trust, an irrevocable trust, one can't be undone. So one, we could do the revocable one, you can change things, but the irrevocable one, you cannot change anything. Okay. Then you have you have testamentary trust. If one or more of your loved one are minors and not yet financially responsible, you can make arrangement to place things place their portion of inheritance into a testamentary trust after you died. You can then name the family in question or beneficiary, but stipulates that they can receive the asset until they reach specific times. Like a lot of people put thing for their children, and if they die, and the children must meet age 18 until they can get it. And special need trust, this is very important. Special need trust, if someone of your family is disabled, a special need trust allow you to leave them part of or all your estate without negating their social security or Medicaid, any Medicaid benefits they get. So let's go to another song now, and when we come back, we will be talking about, here's some things that we can do to safeguard, like some repair scams and so on, okay?
चाहे तुम कुछ ना कहो, मैंने सुन लिया कि साथी प्यार का मुझे चुन लिया, मैंने सुन लिया।
पहला खुमार, नया प्यार है, नया इंतजार, कर लूं मैं क्या अपना हाल, ऐ दिले बेकरार, मेरे दिले बेकरार, तू ही बता। पहला नशा, पहला खुमार, घटाओं में कहीं उड़ता ही फिरूं इन हवाओं में कहीं, या मैं झूल जाऊं इन घटाओं में कहीं, एक कर दूं आसमां और ज़मीन, कहो यारो क्या करूं क्या नहीं। पहला नशा, पहला खुमार, नया प्यार है, नया इंतजार, कर लूं मैं क्या अपना हाल, ऐ दिले बेकरार, मेरे दिले बेकरार, तू ही बता। पहला नशा, पहला खुमार,
कुछ ऐसे ढंग से
welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mind Body Connection. This is a weekly program every Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Normally, you will find myself and Shanaz Hussein on the program, but like I said before, Shanaz is in Guyana for Concert for Hope, which will take place this August the 3rd in Guyana at the Classic Hotel. Okay, so guys, please support this, especially if you are from Guyana. I see Maureen is on again. She locked on. I thank you very much, guys, for all of you for your support. Rakia, Sheila Mangar. Yes, Deepa. I see a lot of Lenore guys on the page tonight, and I'm so glad to see that you guys are supporting me. Amir Khanna, thank you for tuning in. George, he said pull up. He liked the song. So Amir Khanna, yes, good. Thank you for tuning in. I would like to know which part of the world you are from. Thank you again, and I hope you come back. Dia Roy, thank you very much for tuning in. Let's say that in case you get scammed, the worst happened and you get scammed. First thing you do, you file a report. Not only will this help to investigate and eventually catch the parties responsible, but will also make it more likely for you to recover the money that they scam from you. You can also talk to your bank or financial institution if you were the victim of identity theft or otherwise provided the scammers with confidential financial information. Then notify your bank and credit card companies. They can also issue you a new card, recover your money, and protect your accounts from further fraud. If you give someone your social security number or you suspect they may be able to obtain it, then also contact the Social Security Administration. One of the good things that you can do if you want to get a job done and you're not sure what to do, in the United States, you can always go to the Better Business Bureau and you put the person name in and they will tell you how reputable that company is. Also, if you get scammed, and you can always report that company to the Better Business Bureau and give them the company name who came to do things at your place. You can tell your family you may be reluctant to do this. As we mentioned earlier, it's easy to think that falling for a scam will mean your loved ones will decide you're unfit to manage your own affairs anymore. But you know what? In fact, recognizing that you were a victim of a fraud and taking steps to do something about it, it's an indication that you are still in the process, possession of your faculty. Also, another thing, some other question here I have for you guys. It says, if I make a trust, can I modify it whenever I need to? And the answer to that is, if you create a trust, you can also change it. An older adult can make two kinds of trust. First, as I tell you guys, the revocable one, or it was amendable. Another word for that is you can amend the trust, which is a trust that you can alter, modify, change, or revoke. You can change that anytime, or you can revoke it. Second is the irrevocable trust that you cannot revoke or change unless it says you can. If there's a special clause in there that that says you can change it, only then you can. If I make a living trust, does it mean I'm giving up control over all my assets? And here is the answer. You are not giving up control even if you have a living trust. The switch of control occurs only when you die or you become incapable of handling your own affairs. So you don't have to be worried if you make a trust, how long you're alive, you have full control over this, but when you die, that's it. The people who you make it out to will get it. You are in control until death. Only then will a living trust be disseminated to your beneficiaries. In the instance that you become incompetent, the trustee, which is the successor you place in your living trust, will be the one take over your trust without court involvement. And I tell you guys, you don't want court to really come in and have to make decisions of how to distribute all that you have, if you know what I mean. It is okay to make a living will without probate. Most people confuse the meaning of living will and associate it with living trust. However, both legal documents are not the same. When a person makes a living will, they are leaving behind directions for people close to them to pull out the plug. in the instant that the creator of the will becomes comatose, where they can't move, they can't see anything. On the other hand, a living trust, a legal tool of a person can use to evade probate. However, every state, like I said, have different regulations, and they will advise you what to do and how to do things. Also, I would like to say again, we have this book here written by Mr. Anand Budram. He is the president of the Caribbean Voice, and every time you purchase a book from him, you are actually giving some money back. He's giving some money back to the Caribbean Voice to help with suicide prevention and domestic violence, among many other things in Guyana. So don't be scared. Just go ahead and buy one of the books. If you want an autograph book, don't forget, you can always go on the Caribbean Voice page and get his number off there, or you can contact myself or Shanaz, okay? So we're going to go to some music. Sherry Sukram, thank you for tuning in. And all of you guys, let's go to some beautiful music.
मेरे दिल में आज क्या है, तू कहे तो मैं बता दूं। ना चाहूं सोना चांदी, ना चाहूं हीरा मोती, ये मेरे किस काम के। ना मांगू बंगला बाड़ी, ना मांगू घोड़ा गाड़ी, ये तो है बस नाम के। देती है दिल दे बदले में दिल के, देती है दिल दे बदले में दिल के।
घे 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 घेरे साहिबा, प्यार में सौदा नहीं। घे 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 घेरे साहिबा, प्यार में सौदा नहीं। झूठ बोले, अरे झूठ बोले कौवा काटे, काले कौवे से डरियो। मैं मायके चली जाऊंगी, तुम देखते रहियो। मैं मायके चली जाऊंगी, तुम देखते रहियो। झूठ बोले, अरे झूठ बोले कौवा काटे, काले कौवे से डरियो। मैं मायके चली जाऊंगी, तुम देखते रहियो। मैं मायके चली जाऊंगी, तुम देखते रहियो।
ले जाएंगे दिल वाले, दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे। हाँ ले जाएंगे दिल वाले, दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे।
ले जाएंगे दिल वाले, दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे।
अरे रह जाएंगे घर वाले, देखते रह जाएंगे।
रह जाएंगे घर वाले, देखते रह जाएंगे।
अरे ले जाएंगे दिल वाले, दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे।
ये गलियां ये चौबारा, यहाँ आना ना दोबारा। ये गलियां ये चौबारा, यहाँ आना ना दोबारा। अब हम तो भये परदेसी के, तेरा यहाँ कोई नहीं, के तेरा यहाँ कोई नहीं। ले जा रंग बिरंगी यादें, हंसने रोने की बुनियाद। अब हम तो भये परदेसी के, तेरा यहाँ कोई नहीं, के तेरा यहाँ कोई नहीं।
बचना ए हसीनो, लो मैं आ गया। ए बचना ए हसीनो, लो मैं आ
आपने बुलाया इसलिए
आए हैं तो काम भी बताइए.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Mind Body Connection that brought to you by the Caribbean Voice. One thing I forget to mention to you two guys, with the elderly, you have to be very careful with these nurses' aides now too, because what happens is a lot of times that sometimes you find that you get a nurse's aide, they come and they rob you your money too. They do all manner of things. Sometimes they end up abusing the elderly. So that's a good way, a good thing to invest in a little camera and put it in your house so that you can monitor what's going on if you have your family home and they're taking care of them. And you have to be very careful also with your credit card and with your money, especially your jewelry. There are certain things you should keep that boundary, that especially if you know how they are. If you see them not treating your parents right, there's a lot of things that you can really do for them. Another thing I would talk to you guys about is that especially in the United States now, where you have the elderly, in Ghana we do have them home, but in the United States a lot of times we find a lot of elderly in the institution, in the nursing home. And so while we leave our parents sometime in the nursing home, you have to be very careful. And a good thing now that happens here is that you can get paid to take care of your family home, so you don't have to take them to the nursing home. They could stay and live the rest of their life, the balance of their life in home. So as we're coming to the end of our program tonight, the Mind Body Connection, we would like to say thank you very much for tuning in tonight to our program, the Mind Body Connection. I hope that this program, another program, was informative for you guys and help you in some way or the other. I would like to say hello to Nadira Roshan from Guyana, my cousin Alex Jankat for tuning in. Sherry Sukram, good night. Thank you guys for tuning in. And also we have a little survey on this program here tonight. Go ahead and take the survey on the internet, and we're going to leave you with a good song. Gunga Ghana. Let's go. He is not ready. So ladies and gentlemen, I told him to get this song, Gunga Ghana, for you guys so you can feel a little lively up. Again, guys, we really do thank you very much. On behalf of the Caribbean Voice, we would like to say thank you very much for tuning in the Mind Body Connection, and we are ready to rock the world. Let's go. Gunga Ghana.
गाना मेरा जादूगरी सुन लो मेरा दुश्मनी कान खोलो मेरा गाना को मैं हूँ तेरा गुरु ज्ञानी पढ़ो सब परिवार पूचुर मनावे सब परिवार पूचुर मनावे गुंगा गाना गुंगा गाना गुंगा गाना गावे गुंगा गाना गावे गुंगा गाना गावे गुंगा गाना गावे सब परिवार पूचुर मनावे सब परिवार पूचुर मनावे गुंगा गाना गावे गुंगा गाना गावे गुंगा गाना गावे गुंगा गाना गावे
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. That was the good tune, Gunga Ghana. You know, I forget to mention Shanti Singh. Shanti Singh, thank you very much for watching our program. I barely see your name pop up here. I want to tell you, please continue to look to watch our program. Also, guys, finally, I want to say to you guys, please share our program. And also, you can tag your friends. You could tag 100 at a time. I tag 300 per, like for tonight, I'll probably, or tomorrow, tag with 300 people. But, you know, as the host, we can't, we can't share a lot. Sometimes we get blocked. So I encourage all of you to please share our program, to like it, and please also don't forget, tag your friends. I want to say thank you very much for logging into our program, The Mind Body Connection. Next week would be very interesting. I'll be talking to Ganesh Singh, who is living in Guyana, and he has a disability, but he's doing excellent for himself. His disability is not holding him back. So again, until next week, ladies and gentlemen, good night, and thanks to all of you for your support in this program. Without you guys, we are nothing, okay? Good night.